Supercross Live on supercrossonline.com. Kevin Barnett down here on track while catching up with Cole Seeley once again. And Cole, you and I were just chatting about last week. If you had one more lap, you felt like you could have been on the podium.
Yeah. All I need is either a better start or another lap, and I feel like I could have gone on the podium or better. I don't know. I just kind of got in my groove there towards the end of the race, and just started knocking down laps, and my lines were all coming together, and just carried on a fast pace throughout the rest of the race.
How difficult is it when the track is changing throughout the day? Because we had one practice where it was dry, the track was in pretty good shape, one practice where it was just a sloppy, wet mess, and then it seemed like the track kind of tacked up. How do you approach the main differently when you know the track isn't really in the condition that you've seen?
It is tough because like pretty much all the riders are sitting in the semis, just kind of waiting, watching the weather. Rain's coming down, and you don't really know what the track's doing. So it is kind of hard to adapt to it and mentally be prepared for it. But once you get down there and kind of see, and once you do the sight lap before the main, it helps a lot. But it is definitely tough to go through all that during the day.
What are you doing with your program now? Outdoors, indoors? How much are you managing?
We've been doing some outdoor testing. I was going to ride 450s, decided to stay back down to the 250. So either way, riding the 450 helped a lot. My confidence, bike skills, anything, throttle control. So was excited to do that. Now I'm still excited to ride the 250, and then just signed a deal with Troy Designs again for next year, and gonna attack the lights west coast again, and then outdoors again. I'm not sure if I'm going to do 250 or 450 next year, but as of right now, I'm staying 250.
How did that deal come together? Because I know there's a lot of push and pull with, do you go up to 450 or stay with the 250? What was the deciding factor?
The 450 class both classes are very stacked with a lot of talent. But what it came down to was really just how I felt, comfort-wise on the bike, and I decided that, I'm still growing and still getting stronger, so I decided to stay 250 one more year, and then possibly go next year 450.
Does this mean we might see you moonlighting on the 450? That's something you said you'd like to do. Is that still in the plan for next year on the East Coast?
It's never been in my plan to do it. It kind of just happens. Like, unfortunately, a rider will get hurt, and then I'll end up filling in, which I never want to happen. You never want anybody to get hurt, but there's an opportunity the past 2 years that I couldn't turn down. So if it comes again, then yeah, I'll probably do it. All
right, 2 races to go, including tonight here in Salt Lake City. We're sitting up here next to the start straight. It looks pretty short. Is that something that concerns you?
It's very short. I actually kind of like it. I'm digging how it does a 180 in the section after. It's not very technical. I hate when they, throw us into a triple or into a tight section where, you're afraid of getting landed on. So I'm happy with it. We'll just have to get a good time in practice and get a gate pick for the heat.
Do you guys change anything from a week like last week with all the mud and muck and almost Play-Doh tackiness of Seattle now to come what looks like hard pack and rocky here in Salt Lake?
We changed settings for that race, so we'll just go back to our normal settings for here. Usually in the mud, the bike gets a little heavier, change sag, suspension, it's just to compensate for the extra weight from the mud.